Would you ever agree to fall in love, knowing exactly when it would end? No breakups, no messy goodbyes, just a date set in stone, 6 months, then over. Sounds crazy, right? I thought so too. Until I said yes. Before I tell you this story, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and drop a comment. Because when you hear what happened to me, I want to know what you think. It started on a rainy Thursday night. My friend Leo had been nagging me all week. "Come to this get-together," he said. "It's not a party, just a few people, good food, wine, music." I almost didn't go. I was tired of people, of talking about work, of pretending to be interested in strangers. But that night, the rain felt like it was washing the whole city clean, and I needed something different. I walked in, shook off the rain, and there she was. Aria. She was sitting on the couch, hair damp from the weather, a gray sweater hanging loose on her shoulders, a glass of red wine in her hand. She wasn't trying to be noticed, but somehow you noticed her anyway. She laughed at something someone said, and it wasn't that fake laugh people use to fill silence. It was the kind that made other people turn their heads. We talked, at first just to kill time. I don't even remember how it started. Maybe I asked her if the wine was any good. Maybe she asked me why I looked like I didn't want to be there. But soon the room faded, and it was just her and me on the balcony. The city lights below, the rain tapping against the railing, her hair catching the streetlight like dark silk. "I'm done with serious relationships," she said suddenly, like she was finishing a thought I hadn't heard. "Everyone wants to own you, plan forever with you, then leave when it's convenient. I just want something simple." "Simple how?" I asked, half amused. She turned her head, met my eyes without blinking. 6 months, that's it. We see each other, we enjoy it. We don't make promises we can't keep. When it's over, no drama." I laughed, like a rental plan for feelings. "Call it what you want," she said, smiling, "but at least it's honest." I should have walked away. But instead I said, "All right, 6 months." We shook hands like we were sealing a business deal. No kiss that night, just the strangest agreement I'd ever made. The first few weeks were electric. She'd text me at midnight, hungry. And an hour later we'd be sitting in a 24-hour noodle bar, sharing a bowl, stealing bites from each other's chopsticks. No pressure, no "where is this going?" talk. Just moments, pure, messy, alive. She liked to dance barefoot in her apartment. I liked to sit on her couch and watch her spin until she got dizzy and fell into my arms, laughing. She hated olives, loved pickles. I hated how much I liked her laugh. By the second month, her things started living in my apartment without asking. A hair tie on my bathroom sink. Her charger plugged into my wall. One night she left her hoodie on my chair and never asked for it back. I didn't mind. In fact, I liked seeing those little traces of her everywhere. The intimacy came slowly, then all at once. A kiss that lingered too long. A morning where she didn't rush to leave. Nights where we stayed wrapped up in each other until the world outside disappeared. It was real, it was warm, it was dangerous. Because somewhere between the 3rd and 4th month, I stopped keeping count of the calendar. She didn't. Aria had plans. She was going to Europe when this was done, alone. She spoke about it, the way people talk about breathing fresh air after being underwater too long. "You should come," I joked one night. "That's not how this works," she said gently. And that's when I felt it. That crack. Because I wanted to be in her plans. I wanted her in mine. I started doing things I swore I wouldn't. Saving silly videos to show her later. Thinking about her when picking up groceries. Wondering how she'd look sitting across from my mother at dinner. I caught myself wanting to say, "I love you," but swallowing it like poison. because love was not part of the deal. By the 5th month, the cracks turned into something bigger. She was still warm, still present, still the woman who danced barefoot and left notes in my fridge saying, "Don't eat the last pickle." But she started pulling away in tiny, invisible ways. Sometimes she wouldn't answer texts for hours when she always used to reply. Sometimes she'd change the subject when I tried to talk about anything beyond the next day. And sometimes at night, she'd stare at the ceiling for a long time before turning her back to me. One night we fought. Not over something big, just a stupid thing. I had canceled a dinner because of work. She said I was getting too comfortable. "Isn't that the point of this?" I snapped. "The point is to live, not to start building cages again," she said. "Cages? I'm not trying to cage you, Arya." She looked at me then, really looked, and said, "Maybe not yet, but I see it in your eyes. You're starting to hope this turns into forever, and I told you from day one I don't do forever." She left that night without saying goodbye. I didn't sleep. The 6th month came like a shadow you can't shake. Everything felt temporary. Every kiss felt like a countdown. Every morning, I woke up wondering if that was the last one. On the very last night, she cooked for me. Pasta with too much garlic, just the way I liked it. We ate, we laughed like nothing was wrong. She leaned her head on my shoulder while we watched the city lights flicker through the window. And then softly she said, "Thank you for this. It was beautiful, wasn't it?" I froze. "That's it, just thank you." She didn't meet my eyes. "We had a deal, Daniel, 6 months. No promises, no mess. But I fell in love with you." The words spilled out before I could stop them. She finally looked at me then, sad, kind, almost like she pitied me. That wasn't part of the plan. The next morning she was gone. Her hoodie was still on the chair. Her shampoo still in the shower. But she was gone. I sat on the edge of the bed for a long time, staring at the place she used to sleep. I didn't chase her. Because how do you chase someone who never promised to stay? It's been 2 years now. I've dated other people. I've laughed, I've moved on mostly. But sometimes, late at night, I still reach for the side of the bed where she used to be. I kept her hoodie. Never used the shampoo. Sometimes I wonder if she ever thinks about me. Sometimes I wonder if she wanted me to break the deal to fight for her, to prove that 6 months was never enough. But I'll never know. Because love with an expiry date, it doesn't leave room for questions. Only memories. And maybe that's the cruelest part. That the most honest thing I ever said to her, "I love you," was the one thing she couldn't stay for.